Hi and welcome back to my booktube channel. My name is Sam and today I'm going to be talking to you about some books, specifically the books that I bought in New York, which you'll have seen if you've seen my previous video, which was a New York vlog, which I'm really happy with. So definitely go check that out if you haven't already. It's my previous video, but in this video it's kind of like a part 2, a point 5. I'm going to talk about the books that I bought in that video. I'm going to share some of the footage from the bookshops that I went to. But yeah, let's just dive straight into the books. So I'm going to start with the books that I bought at Barnes & Noble, and now if you've watched the previous video, you'll have seen my pure love for Barnes & Noble. It was so amazing. They had baskets, it was huge, they had so many like books just out on display. Like I don't know if that's like a difference between England and America, but in America a lot of the books like face forward. I'm just going to show you. So a lot of them face like this, and you'll have like them all in a row like this, whereas in England you only get like one or two like this, and then most of them are just put next to that one. But in America they had them all like this, which was really cool. But yeah, that and the basket, and like I went to one with like 5 floors, so it was just amazing. But anyway, let's get straight into the books that I bought at Barnes & Noble. You've already seen the first one. I bought the American edition of They Both Die at the End because I really love this cover. I have already read this book. I reviewed it on my Instagram. I really love this book. It's so cute but sad, and yeah, it's kind of like typical YA, but it's special and I love it, and it's sad, and I really wanted the American cover. I do have the English cover. I would have reached for it, but I moved it over there. So yeah, I needed the American cover. That's all I have to say for this one. Yeah, next 2 books I bought from Barnes & Noble are both from the same author. They're both Taylor Jenkins Reid. They're the 2 that I didn't have, so they are After I Do and Forever Interrupted. Now, I kind of have like a mini Taylor Jenkins Reid reading buddy group on Instagram with Summer, I can't remember her handle, but Summer and Mayred, and we kind of read Taylor Jenkins Reid's books together, and it's a lot of fun, so I thought I'd better buy these 2 to prepare for when we get around to them. Also, they're just really cool. I like how it's like day and night, and I like the spines unintentionally. I didn't even notice this when I bought them, but the spines kind of line up, so there's like a circle. That's pretty cool. And then another book that I already own is the American edition of Here's to Words. Now, I wasn't initially planning on buying this one, but it was signed, and it's first edition as well, which I don't really care about, but it's signed by both Becky Albertelli and Adam Silvera, who I love both of them. Adam wrote They Both Die at the End, Becky wrote Love, Simon, and I couldn't not pick it up. Like, I already own the paperback UK edition, but now I have the hardback of the second book in the series. I would have bought the hardback for the first one so they'd match, but they didn't have it, so I'm kind of just have this one, which I'll probably just use as a display copy and have it facing out on my bookshelf or something like that. But it was signed by both the authors, which is really cool, and I couldn't say no, so I bought it. So the next one is purely a cover by, but also heard great things about by, which is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabriella Zivin. And this is a signed edition. This was the most expensive book I bought whilst I was in New York. It was $28. But it's hardback and it's signed, and it's a lot bigger than all the other books, so I guess it was worth it, maybe. And I saw really good things about this all over Bookstagram and BookTube. I don't really know what it's about, but it has the great wave artwork in the back, which is a bonus. And one person that I can think of is Christine, I think, from the Roomies Digest. She really liked this book, so I'm gonna dive straight into this without knowing much. Hopefully it'll be good. I know it's like the last bit of the description says, yes, this is a love story, but it is not one you have read before, which is a high standard to meet, because love stories are very popular in the book community. Then the next 5 books are all by Rick Riordan. If you can guess them already, you probably can. But I bought the American copies of the Percy Jackson series with like this lovely spine art because how could I not? I had to buy these books. I love Percy Jackson so much. I have a whole shelf up there which you can't see, but I love Percy Jackson and I love Riordan's writing, and he's just one of those special authors where you want to own all the books. So I got the pretty American editions, which I'll show you the covers of, which are absolutely beautiful, and they all line up, which I'm not going to show because that's too much effort. But they're just so pretty. This one's kind of lackluster, it's kind of my favourite, but all the other ones are like really detailed and really pretty. And I love them so much. And they are the pride of my bookshelf now. I love them so much. If you've seen the English covers of Percy Jackson, you will understand what I mean by we do not have good covers. And then the next 2 books that I got are Station 11. These are the last 2 that I bought from Barnes & Noble. But I got Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. And this is kind of like a dystopian about a group of travelling artists / performers / actors who just kind of travel this dystopian land and kind of perform and bring art and humanity back to who survived, I guess, whatever happened in this world. I'm very excited for this one. I despise the English cover. It's like white with an orange blob in the middle. But this American edition is so pretty. It has like the night sky and the little tents and the wall, and it's so pretty. And I love it. And it has like that nice texture to it. Obviously you can't feel it, but it has like that nice sandy kind of feel to it, which I love in a book, and it's really floppy. And yeah, I think I first heard about this from Jayla's video. I can't remember which one it was, but I heard her talk about it and I was like, ooh, that sounds right up my alley. So Station 11, hopefully it will be as good as I'm hoping it will be. And then the last one that I bought in Barnes & Noble, which is kind of like a throw in the basket just as I was getting to the till, was Severance, which I spotted and I was like, oh my god, I forgot I wanted that one in the American cover. You can see a lot of these buys that are mainly on the covers. But Severance is by Ling Ma, and it is about kind of like, it's a satire about a dystopia where the world's kind of coming to an end by a pandemic, which is very, very topical at the moment. But the world is kind of coming to an end due to like a pandemic and people are dying and the globe is kind of collapsing. And then you just have the main character who's just living life and going to work in the monotonous struggle to get money to survive. And I just think that's such an interesting concept. I don't do great with satires. All the satires I've read, I've kind of not really liked. But I'm hoping I like this one. I mean, it is kind of a dystopian apocalyptic kind of novel, which I have a special place in my heart for that genre. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. It has a really beautiful cover. It's very simplistic, but also very kind of detailed. It has that feel. It has kind of like the sticker. It has the concrete rip. It has like, it's just good. It's so good. America, you have brilliant book covers. So the next few books I bought were from You and Me Books, which I talked about in my previous video as well. And that's just a lovely bookstore in Chinatown, and it's really good. It's jam-packed full of like signed editions of books, because obviously on her Instagram she has a lot of authors and she'll document them coming in and signing books, but I did not realise how many there would be. Like every shelf there was at least 3 signed books on it, which was absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend. But I got a little stack here to show you. So the first one is I Guess I Live Here Now, which is about a girl who lives in New York with her mum, and her dad's Korean and he still lives over in Korea. And one day they kind of just up and moved from New York, and she's kind of dragged into this world of her father in Korea. I've started reading this one on the plane. I didn't read much of it, but it was really good. It was very much like XOXO vibes, but without the love interest K-pop thing, because she also moves to Korea in this one with her mum. Very similar vibes with these two, and I really like this one, so hopefully I'll like this one as well. But this one is by Claire Anne, and yeah, this one is signed, as you probably tell from the title. The sticker. Sorry, I don't know why I'm showing you the signatures, it's not that important. Tomorrow was also signed. I didn't show you that one, but I may as well. That one was also signed. And then the next book I bought was Beating Heart Baby, which I recently started following the author on Instagram, and I found this book has only been out a month, which I didn't realise, so that's exciting. This one is also signed, which I guess I'll show you, because why not? It says, "Thanks for listening to my song." Yeah, that's what it says. I had to check. But this one is kind of about a relationship. There's two friends, and one friend releases the other one's music by accident. They leak the music and it becomes like a hit, and then they kind of like fall out or something, then reconnect. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember really liking the plot of it when I read the description in the shop. So I bought it. And now I own it. So yeah, if you want to hear more about this, just Google the premise. I hate giving premises for books, like synopses, because I'm so bad at it. So the next one I got is Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zorna, and this is actually a memoir, which I really want to get more into reading memoirs, but this one is about her and her grief for losing her mother to cancer. And basically she kind of goes to Korean H Marts to kind of reconnect with her mother almost, and come to terms with those emotions of grief. And I just think that sounds so like interesting and sad, and I just want to read it and see how it goes. Hopefully I'll like it. I mean, you can't really say I hope I like a book about someone's mum dying of cancer, but hopefully it'll be what I think it's going to be, and it'll be moving and sad, and yeah. Okay, the next one, I'm so incredibly happy. I was not expecting to get this. Well, I knew I was going to get this specific book, but I didn't expect it to be signed. That is We Were Dreamers by Simu Liu. And if you don't know, he plays a Shang-Chi in Shang-Chi, the Marvel one, Legend of the Ten Rings or something, which I loved. And he's also going to be playing in a Taylor Jenkins Reid kind of adaptation of either One True Loves or maybe Another Life. They're over there. I'm just looking for the titles. He's playing a character called Sam in one of those, and that'll be exciting to see. But I love Simu Liu. He's so inspirational and just funny. I love how he would make fun of when he did like stock market photos on his Twitter. That was really funny, because he kind of became this giant star after Shang-Chi, and people brought up all these pictures of his stock photos, and he just made fun, and it was so fun, and I just love him. And there's no sticker on this cover, but I opened it up and it was signed. It's signed. And I knew he'd been to You and Me Books to do a signing, but I thought they would have all been gone because it was like 2 months later. And oh God, they had signed copies, and this is the book that's made me the most happiest to get. I didn't even say what it was. It's his memoir, An Immigrant's Superhero Origin Story. Now, I'm so excited for this one. And yeah, I'm so happy I managed to get a signed copy. I did kind of dent the corner, which I'm really annoyed at myself for. I was trying to get it in my bag to carry around New York, and I dented the corner, but oh well. So they're kind of like the big bookstores that we visited, Barnes & Noble and You and Me Books. They were kind of the two staples of the trip for me. Personally, they were my favourite parts. They were the ones that I was like, we have to go here. And then the next ones were just kind of ones we stumbled into, which the first one being the Strand Kiosk, which is in the bottom like right hand corner of Central Park. And it's kind of like, I was expecting like a box and then just books in it, but it was like, well, it was a box full of books, but it also had like tables across the street, and there was like loads of books. It was really cool. I managed to get 2 books from there, and I got Clementine Book 1 by Tilly Walden. It is a signed edition, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this kind of follows the Walking Dead video game character Clementine on a new journey. And now I have read this one. It was a 3-star read, which is a shame. I'm still happy to own it, but I just felt it was very, very dumb. the main like quest in this kind of book is to build a village on the side of a mountain during snowstorms, and there's like 4 kids trying to build a house in snowstorms, and I just thought that was very dumb. Clementine's story kind of ended in the 4th installment of the video game series. She kind of found her family and settled down. Not her actual family, that's not a spoiler. But she kind of found her place in the world, and then in this one she kind of just abandons that with no real explanation. And she's just kind of like, yeah, I'm off on the road now. I ditched everyone I loved for no reason. Which I thought was very weird. It was pretty artwork though. It was pretty artwork. I'm hoping she goes back to where she was in the video game ending. I'm trying not to say too much to spoil, but I just had to get that off my chest, you know. Dumb characters being dumb for no reason. And then the second one that I bought was Anxious People, which I've heard lots of good stuff about. This is by Frederick Backman. Backman, yeah. And this one kind of follows a group of hostages. There was a bank robbery that went wrong, and we kind of so the bank robber goes into this kind of like open house and takes all these people hostages, and we kind of see all their different stories, all the hostages' different stories of who they are, where they came from, what brought them to this situation. And I think it says that they find out the bank robber is really the one that needs saving. So I feel like they're gonna talk to the bank robber and like find out he's really sad or depressed and has lost everything, and they'll be like, oh, it's okay, we'll help you out of this situation, and then maybe help him escape. That's my prediction. Whether that's right, we'll find out in the future if I ever get around to reading this. But I am excited for it. I've heard nothing but good things. So yeah, hopefully it'll be good and live up to expectations. And now the last 2 books I bought at the airport because I wanted to use up the dollars that I had. I had like $30 left, and I thought, let's just buy some books. So I bought Heatwave by TJ Klune. Now, I keep buying TJ Klune books without actually having read any of them. I now have Flashfire, Under the Whispering Door, and The House by the Cerulean Sea, and I've read none of them. But for some reason I keep buying his books. I don't know whether it's because I know they're all queer, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just buy that. It'll be a queer book and I'll enjoy it when I get around to it eventually. But I really need to stop. I keep buying the hardbacks as well. I keep ending up with hardbacks of TJ Klune, and I've never read his books. All I've ever heard is people say he's brilliant though, with like The House by the Cerulean Sea. So I have faith. It's just kind of weird that I keep ending up with his books. And I didn't really even realise this is the 3rd book in a trilogy. So I can't even read this one. It's the 3rd one in the Extraordinaires series, I think. I googled it. So I don't really know what it's about. I did read the back, there was like a heat wave or something. I can't even read this one yet. So yeah, the heat wave. And then the last book that I bought in New York City airport was A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. Now this one is about 2 sisters, and one of them has been poisoned with the same poison that killed their mother. So now the main sister, who we follow, is trying to find an antidote for this poison, and we kind of just see her explore the world and explore the dynamic between sisters. And it's just kind of really interesting, and the cover is so beautiful. Like, that artwork is just... and it continues onto the back as well, so you kind of have like a long piece of artwork, which is really beautiful. And yeah, I don't think I've heard much about this one. I've definitely seen it once or twice on Bookstagram. But I'm excited and I'm intrigued, and it's not that long, because there's a lot of like letters and stuff in this one, so hopefully I like it. But that's the end of the video. there are all the books I bought. I bought this one and this one and these ones, and this one is definitely, I'm most excited for this one. I'm so happy that it was signed. But yeah, let's try and do that thing where you hold all the books at the end, so that I can get a thumbnail. Oh my god, I can't believe I bought so many. I purely just took money to buy books in America because I knew there was going to be so many good ones. And now my hair is all flat. Oh my god, there's so many. Right, I bought books. So this is my book haul. Hopefully I can get through all these soon and give you my thoughts. I'm not making any promises, but I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to put these down, they're so heavy. Whoops. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will be back with either a bookshelf tour or a Court of Thorns and Roses reading vlog, which I'm hoping to get to before I go back to uni. So it'll either be this one, which will be the next video, or a bookshelf tour. But if you like this video, if you like me, subscribe, hit the bell to know when I post videos. It's probably like once or twice a month, but it would be nice to have you around. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, tell me any books you bought recently. If you've read any of these, what were your thoughts? But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good life. Bye.